Hi, welcome back. Oh my gosh, it's so good to see you too. I know. It's been, gosh, time flies, doesn't it? But it's weird. It seems like I just saw you yesterday, and it feels like it's been 100 years. Come here. It's so good to have you back. So good to have you back in town. Oh my gosh. Well, yeah, I didn't really think that there was much chance I'd ever see you back here. I mean, wasn't sure we'd if our paths would ever cross again. Yeah, but I mean, it's one thing to keep in touch and maintain contact. It's something else entirely to have you back here. I mean, this isn't exactly a big town, right? And I mean, most of the people we went to college with did get jobs out of the area. I'm kind of the odd one out who stuck around. You have no idea. It was so good to hear you were coming back, even if it's just for a little while. Well, I thought we could catch up a bit, but I kind of have a few things planned. All right, yes, schemed. I don't know, but yeah. So I've got some plans for us, and I mean, you're the rest of your day is open, right? I guess I maybe should have mentioned that before. Okay. Well, they're not too elaborate. It's just that I've got a few things. You'll find out. I absolutely will spoil the surprise one at a time as we go. All right. Well, what I kind of had planned for us was kind of like a tour of our friendship kind of thing. I'm just going to go to a few of the places that really, were pivotal in our friendship and that meant a lot to us, and just kind of relive the old times a little bit while catching up on the new. You game? Okay. Well, why don't we hop in my car and go to the first stop? Didn't think you'd ever come bowling here again, did you? Well, okay. So it's pretty obvious why I picked this place, but you know, you know how I go over things in my head and kind of come up with what I want to say and I rehearse it, so I'm going to do that. And you may just have to deal with it. You know that about me. So as you recall, it was sophomore year, right? And you were here with your friends, I was here with mine. Yeah, I was getting to that. Well, to be fair, we were just a little bit rambunctious. Look, okay, I just got my third strike in a row. All right. And you know how rare that is, especially well, you don't see me bowling straight down the thing, do you? We were using the bumper rails. Okay, we weren't. But it was there was magic in the air, I guess, and I got three strikes in a row. Can you really fault me for that big of celebration? Yeah, I know. Sorry to have startled you. Well, it was kind of fortuitous though, right? Well, I didn't expect that when we started screaming and shouting that you were going to get so startled that you spilled your drink all over yourself. But it did give me an opportunity to be nice and to be a gentleman and somewhat begin to atone for what had happened. And how'd that work out, right? You made a friend. We both did. Do you remember how that went? Uh-huh. That's right. My old high school hoodie. to be fair, you were drinking something that would leave a mark if it spilled. Okay? And it worked out, right? You got to wear my hoodie the rest of the evening, and we had a good time. As I recall, I don't think I bowled another frame that night. It was more fun that way, sitting out on the hood of my car, chatting and getting to know each other. And right there, a friendship was born, right? One that's been a blessing in both of our lives. So this bowling alley is always going to be special to me for that reason. Those 3 strikes were something special. But more special was the fact that I made a lifelong friend. I'm glad. And it washed out of your shirt too, right? So all's well that ends well. Well, let's finish up this game, and then we can go on to the next location, okay? You're up. So, it's not really that this movie theater is associated with a specific memory, it's just that it's associated with a lot of small ones. And it has kind of a general, overall positive association in my mind because of it. I mean, can you even remember how many times we went to the movies here? Either with our friends or just the 2 of us? I lost count somewhere in the triple digits, probably. Okay, maybe not that many times. The point is, I can't even remember how many movies I've seen here. And I can't remember how many I've seen with you, but I'm pretty sure the majority were with you. Do you remember those old movies that they used to show? Like on Friday nights? Stuff that had been out of theaters for ages. That was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. And yeah, they actually still do that. Well, we could always plan to come back. Well, here, why don't you take my jacket? Take my jacket, here. Are you sure? Well, sure, I can put my arm around you, but is that going to be enough, do you think? Look at here. The armrest here lifts up. So why don't we put it up and scoot a little closer, and I can put my arm around you. And there. Is that okay? All right, well, you let me know if you get too cold, okay? I'm more than happy to give you my jacket, and you can put your arm around me. All right, well, looks like the show's about to start, so we can reminisce some more at the next place, all right? Any reason why I picked this restaurant in particular? Well, I know we ate here a few times, yeah, but there's one time in particular that made me choose this restaurant, because there were other places that we ate at more. Remember? Okay, actually, there are a couple of reasons I chose this one. As you may recall, this is where we had our... I mean, can we really call them Christmas dinner? It kind of was our Christmas dinner, right? Because it was right before the end of classes, before we went back home for the holidays. And it was our Christmas dinner, right? Junior and senior year. So, given that it's coming up on the end of the university semester, even if neither of us is still there, seemed appropriate, right? There is another reason too. This was where we had our last dinner together before we graduated, and you moved to take your new job. I've thought about it a lot since I stuck around here, and I see this place all the time. No, I haven't. Not since that dinner. This is my first time back here. Mm, what makes you say that? Mm, you know what? It's really... Don't worry about it. It's neither here nor there. No. Seriously, it's not a big deal. It seemed like something back then. I well, look, it's just, it's been a long time. It's been a long time, and you're established elsewhere, and I don't want anything I say or was going to say back then to get in the way of that. You're not going to let this go, are you? All right. Well, maybe it was a bad choice to come to this restaurant, but okay. That last dinner we had together here, I was trying to hide it so that you wouldn't realize that there was something on my mind that night. And, well, what I was thinking was, I didn't want you to go. No, it's not just about not wanting my best friend to leave town. I mean, obviously that's part of it. Look, I really had feelings for you. And I had wanted for a while to... I had wanted to act on them and see what there might be. But I didn't want to have that get in the way of our friendship. I didn't want to make you feel like you had lost a friend or that you couldn't be yourself around me. And ultimately that night when we had that last dinner here, you had accepted your dream job offer in a different state, and I did not want to leave you confused or conflicted or guilt-ridden. I wanted to celebrate your success and not make it about me and what I want. So that's what was on my mind. I was conflicted. I wanted to say something, and I ultimately decided it would be best not to. I know. I've remained conflicted, actually. Well, part of me is really glad that I didn't say anything, didn't, put that on you. But there's a part of me that's always been disappointed that I let that chance pass. What? Really? This has got to be a scene from some kind of Hallmark Christmas movie, right? Is that what we're doing here? You can't possibly... You really felt the same way? So, hang on. Why didn't you say anything? Hmm. Yeah, I can see that. So, I felt like I would be leaving you feeling guilty if I said something. because you'd be leaving me. You thought you'd make me feel guilty because if you stayed, I would have felt like I made you miss out on your dream. It's ironic, is what it is. Well, I guess the question is, now that the cat's out of the bag, what do we do with it? Well, we've managed to stay in touch this long. We could always see if there is still a flame there. It's not that bad of a long distance relationship. It's not like we're in different countries or something. If you're game, I'm game. Let's see where it goes. And if we both want it, we'll find a way. There is something, yeah, that I wanted to do a lot, many times, and I never quite worked up the courage for it. But well, since we're both being courageous today. Well, let's not let this be the only date we get while you're here in town. It absolutely is a date. It may not have started out that way, but it is now, right? To be perfectly honest, I'm relieved. I've regretted not saying anything for years now. So thanks for not letting me off the hook this time. Here's to us. To our friendship. And all the possibilities for our relationship in the future. Cheers.